lot of high quality waves in that for Ace, and so he could be taking that confidence. This is going to be a great final. It's a toss up for me. I mean, I'd have to say that it's going to be advantage Adriano because of that right there.
The big crowd, and we're going to take a little bit of a break, but we're going to come back with more finals talk here at the Oi Rio Pro presented by Corona. Stick around, more finals talk and the upcoming final. And welcome back to the Oi Rio Pro here at Playa de Itauna, all presented by Corona, and we're anticipating the final. But, Potts, we've had a lot of questions from some of our fans on some of our commentary crew and where their whereabouts. So I'd like to kind of give you guys an update on what's been going on. First of all, great news, Rosie Hodge, she's going to be back at Fiji and the rest of the year, so we're going to see Rosie back on the team. Chelsea Cannell, she took some time off to become a mom. And we're going to see Chelsea back at the US Open. We'll see her in the studio, and we'll see Chelsea at Trussell's as well. And then lastly, Joe Turpel, our good friend. He's taking some personal time off, but we anticipate Joey to be back really soon. So that's the update on some of the team, and I want to get a couple comments from you on the team, and the new guys.
Well, I mean, it's a grind, It's and every now and again we need to take a break too. So it's good to have, obviously Rosie's going to be back very soon. So is Joe, but it's good to have you here, Copes.
Thank you. That's what I was fishing for.
We've got a really solid team, and we got their backs while they're away. So look forward to seeing them back soon.
All right. Well, it's been a great year so far, and we got the Yellow Jeep Leaders jersey on the back of John Florence, and we saw him in a dominant performance over in Western Australia at Margaret River.
Yeah, next level stuff. Main break Margaret River, one of the toughest waves to serve. Not for this guy though. When you're doing stuff like that, it was next level. I mean, there was everyone was here, and John was way up there somewhere in the next stratosphere. I just thought that coming off the back of a world title, he normally have kind of a sluggish year. Not for John. He's just going from strength to strength. It's almost like he's got that world title now, and he's just letting it all hang out. We're seeing stuff that we've never seen before, with style, with power, with pizzazz. I mean, what else can you say about that? It's there was no one was ever going to touch John at Margaret River, that's for sure. So, I mean, sometimes you got to just sit back and watch it. Chloe and Dino served well, but unfortunately got comboed in the final. No, not a bad thing for Chloe, because John comboed everyone else in that event as well. And as I said, no one was ever going to touch John. But Kolohe Andino, good signs from him. I think we're seeing probably one of the more mature seasons from Kolohe Andino. I think he's learned a lot. He's keeping his emotions in check, which you kind of got to do. We've seen the same from Julian Wilson. These guys are learning how to play this game at a high level, but that kid right there, talk about high level. I mean, that is the next high level, and it's almost like that MC Hammer song. You can't touch this.
Can't touch this. He's been putting together such great performances, and he's also, John's been, smart John, putting together really good heats too. But you know what? Let's get ready for the final here at the Oi Rio Pro, presented by Corona. It's just about to start. Adrian Ace Buchan versus Adriano de Souza. Here we go. We're into the finals. Adriano de Souza versus Adrian Ace Buchan.
He is in absolute form here. Authority on the rail from Adrian.
Just works his way through the paces. Two big backhand whips. And here we go with the final. The horn has sounded, and we're going to get started here with two very intelligent heat surfers, not just talented, but really know how to play the game of surf competition here on the Championship Tour.
100%. And there's their numbers. De Souza with a little bit of an advantage, 15.04 average heat score. He's got 4 wins over Ace Buchan's 1. Throw all those stats out. It's a new day, it's a new 30 minutes, and Ace Buchan is in the final for a reason, Kaipo. He's been surfing incredibly well, took down Matty Wilco in the semi-finals. Probably his best performance for me so far in this event. De Souza's just been a highlight reel, and we are definitely not surprised. A little bit of wind affected at the moment. You can see that breeze starting to come on shore just a little bit, but I don't think it's going to affect the performances from these guys at all.
Brazilian pride in the house. Standing room only here on the beach for the final. And we added an extra 5 minutes to this final, as you can see on the ticker. Counting down from a 35-minute start. No waves ridden as of yet. And Pot says we start every single heat. We do it with that open or neutral priority before we get into the priority rotation.
Yeah, I can't see there being any issues with these guys. There you see Adriano de Souza's numbers, ranked number 4, coming into this event. And if he wins this, he'll walk away with 10,000 points, and he'll be right behind John Florence at the top 4 pack. Geordie Smith, Owen Wright, de Souza and John. It's going to be a classic world title race this year. We've had different winners all the way through so far. It's going to be definitely a classic year ahead of us.
Yeah, and we've been really blessed in 2017, Potts, with great waves at each and every one of the stops so far. This is our 4th event, right?
Snapper Rocks pumped.
Whoa.
Margaret River was on fire with the addition of North Point, which, by the way, is one of my favorite waves. And just going back to that, it was about a 5 out of 10 that day, so it wasn't even anywhere close to firing. And then Bells Beach, which, I mean, the temperature was warm, the winds were light. We had Winky Pop in the mix. Geordie Smith won his first bell. What a classic year. Owen Wright, John, Geordie, 3 different winners coming into this one. And again, we're going to have a different winner here.
We're going to have a 4th different winner, and the waves for this event have been tremendous. Here's the crowd. You can hear the cheers. This is actually my new favorite part of Brazil right here in Saquarema. It's such a great little beach town. There's so many waves over here. It seems like it's a swell magnet. Like it just sucks in the swell, doesn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, Brazil, all up and down the coast, there's beautiful waves, there's beautiful parts of Brazil, and we just don't have enough time to go and check it all out. But Saquarema, I'm sure we'll be back here. And this isn't really that good. I've seen some footage of this place. I surfed it many years ago, pumping. So, again, this is about a 6 out of 10 for Saquarema. So, the other side of the beach, I've seen a couple of years ago, Pete Mel surfed it with Leo Fioravanti. It was like 8 to 10 foot and just barreling. Perfect, clean conditions. So this place can offer some amazing waves.
See on the bottom of your screen, the tour stops for 2017. Next up is going to be that Outer Known Fiji Pro. And yeah, this change of venue has been wonderful, Potts. And one thing also we saw on camera is Leandro Dora, Iago's dad. Now in the final, he doesn't have to be neutral, right? He's got a horse in the game.
Yep.
He's got a game plan, and we're going to see how Adriano de Souza really executes on that.
Well, you know, two smart guys, two guys that play the game at a very high level. And de Souza, the people's champion, you know, came from humble beginnings, and his first surfboard his brother bought for $7.
Incredible story.
From a second-hand shop, and got him in the water, and here he is now, 2015 world champion. He's, you know, always goes back and gives back to the people, his neighborhood that he grew up in. And it's just a really good story. I mean, the kid's worked his butt off and done all the hard work. This thing was not handed over to him, let me tell you. There's no easy way to a world title.
Well, head over to worldsurfleague.com, you know, after the competition if you want to know more about Adriano de Souza. He's in the profiles, and that actual piece that tells the story of Adriano's life is a touching piece. It's really well put together, and it really captures how passionate and what a, you know, rags to riches story Adriano de Souza really is, and why a nation can be really proud of him.
Oh, 100%. I mean, we're proud of him. He's one of our world champions, and you know, we celebrate him absolutely 100%. You know, there's no different to John winning a world title. We celebrate John's world titles. We celebrate everyone that wins a world title. Why? Because this is our sport, and these are our guys.
Well, de Souza has set the bar with a 9.83, so that's the single highest wave score so far in this competition, and we can look to our judging criteria of how you get those big numbers.
There it is, commitment and degree of difficulty with innovation and progression, combination of major maneuvers, variety of maneuvers, and it all has to be done with speed, power, and flow. And you translate all of those into numbers. We're going to be looking for the good to excellent range here. I don't think anything average is going to win this, so these guys have both been dropping good to excellent scores throughout this entire event. I'm thinking there's going to be one or two excellent rides in this final.
What have you seen so far today, Potts, as far as, you know, excellent scores? Any things that stand out, you know, in front of you?
I think just Adriano de Souza's backhand, bottom turn, top turn combo, I think for me has been an absolute standout. You know, and I was talking to Pete about it. It's a difficult thing to do. There's only a couple of guys in the world that have that ability to be able to hold the bottom turn that long and project up into the lip. And it's all about that, you know, you're driving off the bottom, holding the rail and assessing where you want to just absolutely tag it. And to be able to do that is just that next level positioning, timing, and also you've got to have a good board under your feet.
Underneath Adriano's feet, he's on those Channel Island surfboards, and Ace Buchan riding the JS Industry board. So two of the biggest board makers in the world, super popular on each end. So these guys have top-notch equipment also.
100%. Got to find that magic carpet, you know. It's a difference between good surfers and great surfers. It always comes down to, I don't know, you look at any of these guys, you look at all those guys sitting there, they all have the ability to win. And sometimes the board is the difference. So you have those magic boards under your feet and results will come.
A couple guys on camera who've had a great event here. Owen Wright taking home a 5th with a quarterfinal finish. Matt Wilkinson, 3rd place. That's a great finish. He's already got a runner-up finish this year. So 2017 for Wilco looking good. Here's our first look at the final of Adriano de Souza. There's that long bottom turn. There's that sting off the top. Again, long bottom turn and another big hook off the top. He's going to keep with this wave, hoping for more, perhaps a double-up section. And it looks like this wave is just going to come on inside. Adriano doesn't quit, however, gets one more turn. Just when you think he's done, he keeps on going. Nice opening ride for ADS.
Yeah, just so clean, you know, just...
He's going to beach this thing.
Still going. Now, back in my day, that would have been a 10-point ride. Length of ride, big part of the old school surfing. They've changed the judging criteria. We just went through that. Adriano de Souza, I mean, the first couple of turns, there he goes again. And
here's the wave right behind.
Ace Buchan, just not wanting to get left behind, needing to answer back straight away. Ace has got to find those waves with a little bit of vertical face. I mean, these turns are beautiful, but right here, this is what he's looking for. Oh, just going for it. Losing the fins, but watch this turn here. Bottom turn, straight up into the lip. Look at the spray flying up into the heavens. De Souza tagged that one again. You talk about speed, power, and flow. That is just one of those boxes that Adriano has ticked. Combination of major maneuvers. He's ticked that box as well. He is on his way to a brilliant score to start things off, and then milks it all the way through to the beach.
I think that's the first wave we've seen beached so far.
Watch the bottom turn, just nice and low, projecting out into the lip. Just nice, clean, beautiful surfing. No mistakes whatsoever. I mean, that board was like a hot knife through butter.
But, you know, Potts, does that show intent, like extra intent, when a surfer brings the wave I mean, I know it's not part of the criteria, but doesn't it show an intent that he brings the wave all the way and steps off on the shore?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, and in doing that, he got the crowd involved even more so. You know, because they're all sitting right along the beachfront. Look at that. That's the VIP area. It's just packed, right? I mean, it can't get any more people in there, that's for sure. The beach is wall to wall, and there's the competitors area. Everyone hanging around. Joel Parkinson, Mick Fanning, Owen Wright, Matty Rucco, Julian Wilson. I mean, these guys appreciate good surfing, man, and they're all here to support these guys.
First numbers in, and advantage to Adriano De Souza, a 7.5, high, good range score. Ace is going to have to get a little bit more busy. He's only got a 4.33 for his start, and that was by virtue of, you know, those fins coming disengaged and Ace going down.
Yeah. Just wrong maneuver choice, I think. Needed to draw a little bit off the bottom and get that board snapping in the pocket like he does. That was more of a projection turn, kind of got away from him just a little bit. But that 7.5 from Adriano De Souza, 3 judges dropped 7.5s. There was a 7.0 and an 8.0. I'm kind of agreeing more with the 8.0
you liked
judge.
It.
Yeah, I loved it. Back-to-back solid maneuvers, and then beached that baby.
All the way, here we go. High up above for the view, and now we're gonna go down low. Beach angle of second wave for Ace Buchan. Just starts off with a cutback, and is gonna glide through another cutback, banks off the whitewater, and he's gonna make it 3, staying in tempo, and 4. So Ace, you know, more of the horizontal surfing, but getting it done, and there finishes with a nice vertical stab through the lip.
Yeah, you know, stuck with that wave. Why? Because it's a confidence builder, right? Maybe just he wanted to wipe that you know, get that wipeout out of his brain. You don't want to harp on those things too long. So good move there from Ace. Just stuck with that wave, build his confidence up. It's probably not going to be a keeper by the end of this heat, but just, you know, a good sort of settler. Just get those nerves back in check, get that confidence up, and get that wipeout just out of his mind. Really nice, clean surfing from Ace Buchan. Just, you know, as we said, just a couple of sort of cutback maneuvers, jamming it again. There you can see him just cranking it up each turn, finding more and more confidence, and then finish strong with a nice vertical turn. So not a bad wave there. I think it was more tactics rather than anything. Just trying to, as I said, forget about that first wave, get that out of your mind, and get that confidence back in check.
He's back on that green railed board. You like the way it looked underneath his feet, Potts?
100%. I think, you know, obviously on his forehand, I think maybe it's the board of choice. Maybe on his backhand, I like that clear board that he was riding earlier in the piece, but for his front side, that board looks maybe a little bit more pulled in, a little narrower maybe, which is allowing him just to really hook into those turns.
Well, second score in for Ace, 5.83. He takes the lead by virtue of having 2 waves in his score line. Just like every other heat, we take the top 2 waves, and that equals your overall heat total. Here we go with Adriano De Souza on his second wave. Big carve, good looking wave. That delayed bottom turn and just knifing through that bottom turn, which sends him up into the lip for beautiful hooks. And he just continues with that pace and flow, waving to the crowd. The whole beach erupts.
I love it. He's just plugging straight into the crowd, and he's feeding off that energy, you know, and why not? This is home court advantage for Adriano De Souza. You know, this is the only event all year where he's going to get this kind of support. maybe on the Gold Coast. There's a lot of Brazilians go to the Gold Coast for that event, but we call it Rainbow de Janeiro.
Right there, yeah.
Here especially, I mean, this is where he's got to tap into it. This is home court advantage, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's finding those bigger waves, though. Bigger set wave, draws off the bottom. Timing is everything here, and opens up with a big arcing turn. All rail work from De Souza. Nice, clean, smooth surfing. This is what I like about this kid's backend approach. And then right here, just fits the turn in and then gets out of there before those waves, the white waters collide. And a completed maneuver for Adriano De Souza. Holds the rail through that. Nice body extension. And again, just gets nice and low. It's almost spring-loaded, almost just wing, just hooks into those maneuvers. And De Souza, again, just nice and beautiful sort of carving snap to finish things off. Comes out. So the crowd getting involved, and De Souza starting to pick up some speed.
And catching the jet ski ride back out. Here is our Jeep leaderboard. One man standing in that top 10 conversation, Adriano De Souza. And he's, as we talked about, he's going to climb that leaderboard, especially if he can get a win here at the Oi Rio Pro.
Yeah, well, 10,000 points puts him right behind John Florence. And as I said, it's going to crunch that top 4 up. Obviously, Geordie as well as Owen have narrowed the gap as well. John with that second round loss, he gets 1,700 points. So only just keeping that lead.
Well, the crowd is going to light up when they hear the second number for De Souza, a 7.83. Pair that with his 7.5. Now Ace needs a high excellence score of a 9.5 if he wants to win this final.
Yeah, well, 19 minutes ago, Ace is going to break that down into 2 waves. Because he's back up, I mean, he's got a 5.83 and a 4.33. That's, like we're talking about before, average waves are not going to win this final. Even if you've got an excellent ride, you need to have something good in that mid to high good range as a backup. You can't afford to have an excellent score with a 5 or a 4 backup. It's not going to work.
Love the insight on the math, Potts. We saw a picture of the beach. I'm just wondering, you know, if any stores are open right now in Saquarema. It seems like the whole town is emptied out onto the beach. But with that crowd conversation, we see De Souza, you know, kind of pump up the crowd. Now, do you think that can kind of help influence the judges hearing, you know, the cheers and all of the claps and shouts?
Yeah, no, it doesn't affect the judges at all. I mean, these guys are professionals at their job. You know, you can't help but get carried away being a fan of the sport. But these guys are professional judges. They know exactly what they're looking at. They don't let their emotions take over. It's very clinical when it comes to them locking in scores. You know, they're all keen surfers as well. I mean, they appreciate good surfing. There's no way that the crowd influences the scores.
Well, for some insight in the crowd, we have local Brazilian and former world big wave champ, Carlos Burley. Carlos, can you give us a little bit of the mindset right now of Adriano De Souza?
Hi, Kaipo. Yes. Think about this. You know, a perfect plan. We got a team. He's the leader of the team, the Brazilian Storm, and they wanted to break the rules. You know, they wanted to become the first Brazilian world champion. And of course, Adriano, by being the leader, he wants to be the first. But then, Gabriel Medina beats him and becomes the world champion. But he never gives up. You know, he goes back and keep fighting, and he became a world champion. Now that he doesn't have that pressure anymore, he's in a state of mind that he's in flow. Every scene combined brings him to the point that he's so precise. So he's just putting scores after scores. He's in the way to the winning of this final.
Love the words and insight from Carlos Burley, and we're really happy to have Carlos on our commentary team. He's been such a great addition with, you know, really breaking down a lot of the stuff, you know, on the surfer level.
Well, they call him captain.
The captain.
The captain. The captain of the Brazilian Storm. And it's turning into a permanent weather system, really, isn't it? It's
I don't see any clear skies in the future. It's going to be Brazilian storming for a while, especially given the third, you know, the semifinal finish by a 20-year-old.
Yeah, well, that's the future right there, isn't it? So, and there's many, many more of those kids coming up as well. QS is just going to get hammered by the young Brazilian surfers. 11 on tour at the moment, 12 Aussies, so those two nations dominating the sport. But yeah, we're going to see definitely way more young Brazilians coming in.
De Souza, vertical, 12 o'clock, but can't pull the lunch down. That's okay. He still has the heat lead, and we're going to see if Ace, now having priority, can take advantage of perhaps a little bit of a look. We'll be back with that answer and more of this final. Stick around. This is the final of the Oi Rio Pro presented by Corona. And we're back here at the Oi Rio Pro, presented by Corona, and Adriano de Souza out in the lead right now over Adrian Ace Buchan. Ace needing an excellent score of a 9.5. This is what happened during the break.
Yeah, well, Ace Buchan using his priority and needs a massive score, needs to get himself back in this heat, and he needs to post something up into that excellent range on his way to a brilliant score. Searing maneuver from Ace Buchan, and again just rattling off some big turns, and he's got to finish off on his feet. Throws the tail out. Does he ride out of it? Yes, he does. And there's Ace's support crew. All the Aussies love that one. Mick, Joel, Owen Wright, Matty Wilco, Julian, and guess what? Have a look at that score.
Things have gotten interesting, Potts. A 9.2, not enough to take the lead off of Adriano de Souza, but well within striking distance. Now Ace just needs a 6.13. You talked about that, how that 5.83 wasn't going to be enough.
Yep.
Ace got it done. Now he just needs a mid-range score.
Just needs a backup, right? So that's his job, and he knows it. Probably one of the smartest guys out there. Can you hear anything? It's kind of quiet, right?
This is quieting the crowd when everyone realizes that Ace Buchan just dropped the biggest score so far of this final. We talked about this clash of two great surfing nations, Australia, which has such a good, surf culture there.
Yep.
You look at Brazil, they have a very, very strong surf culture as well. The two lead nations just butting heads to head when you look at the pure number of surfers on the championship tour.
100%. It's this is a battle that's going to be around for a long time, that's for sure. And you talked about the future of Brazilian surfing. There is plenty of young kids coming up.
They want something to cheer about.
Yep.
They want something to cheer about.
I think they'll get something to cheer about before this heat's over. That's my call anyway. 12 minutes and 20 seconds to go. Adriano de Souza, well, 7.5 is his backup. He needs something up into the excellent range. He needs an 8-something, an 8+ score, just to apply a little bit more pressure to Ace Buchan. Ace needing a 6.13, so this is anyone's game at the moment.
Decision time for Adriano de Souza. Good news for Adriano is that he has priority and plenty of time, Potts, right? We're just under the 12-minute mark. The red P by his name gives him first right away on any wave that comes through. He can choose a right, he can choose a left, and we're going to see how this plays out.
That we are, as we see that wind starting to pick up just a little bit. De Souza now moving over towards Ace Buchan. There's no defense going to be played just yet. Still too much time on the clock, 11.5. But De Souza needs an excellent score. He needs to light the crowd up again. Ace Buchan needing a 6.13. So we kind of knew he was going to get that score down in 2 waves.
There's the Brazilian Storm shirt and our fans here in Saquarema.
They just love it, don't they? They absolutely love coming down. Every single day we've ran this event, we have had bumper crowds, passionate fans. Even walking down the street, you go out for dinner and people are buzzing, want to take photos with you. It's just an amazing feeling here. These super stoked surf fans, and we're having dinner the other night and this guy came in and said, thank you very much for coming to Saquarema. This has just made our day. The town is lit up. Finally, we've got something special happening in our neck of the woods. They appreciate it. They love it. And so do we.
I was with you. That was a touching moment, and that just was an illustration of, you know, the fan support here in Brazil, and especially this surf town of Saquarema. Here we go. Couple of paddles, no takers. 10 minutes, 20 seconds. One more chance out the back. Will De Souza go? We're going to find out in just a fraction of a second. Shot from high up above. Adriano turns. Whitewater roll in. He's going to fade a bottom turn. Hook off the top. Around the corner again. And another beautiful carve off the top. This wave goes a little bit tapered.
All right, now we've got the door open and Ace has got 1 foot in it. 613 required. That's not going to go into Adriano De Souza's top two waves. He needed to better a 7.5. That was his job. Whenever you've got priority, you've got the heat lead. You don't utilize your priority unless you're 100% sure that you are going to better your situation. De Souza thought, you know what, Ace can get that 613 on this wave, so I've got to eliminate that opportunity. And this is going to come in at a very small score, so De Souza utilizing his priority, a little bit of defense, a little bit of tactics, but what he's done is he's handed over priority to Ace Buchan, who can now sit and cherry pick the next 9 minutes and look for that 613.
Let's take another look at that 9.2 from Ace Buchan. Talk us through this, Potts.
Well, you know, Ace has been on fire. He's, for me, the semi-final against Matty Wilco is where we just saw him really start cranking it up and surfing at a high level. Not that he hasn't been doing it all event, but look at that beautiful, seamless, pure rail-to-rail surfing from Ace Buchan, throwing a lot of spray, sneaky powerful. That board looks really good under his feet, and a little bit of pizzazz at the end there. So Ace Buchan, 9.20, well-deserved score, and now we have De Souza up and running.
Here we go. Adriano, little rock and roll float to start. Hooks it off the top for turn number 2. Smooth carve off the bottom. Smooth carve off the top. Continues down the line. Multiple maneuvers. Vertical on this inside steeper section. The finish, lip glide, and he's going to hang on. He's not going to give up. Crowd goes wild.
I told you there'd be more to cheer with, didn't I? That was an insane wave for Adriano De Souza. Picked that up on the way back out, underneath the priority of Ace Buchan, needing to replace a 7.50.
Did he do it, Potts?
I think he's done it. I think that could be his best wave yet. I think it could even better his 7.83. Let's have a look. Caught this wave on the way back out. First turn, up and over. Watch the second turn. Watch the spray go into the air. Whoa, that's how much power you can tell that the surfer's putting into his moves by how much water gets displaced. And he just keeps tagging it all the way through. Look at that one. And again, vertical snap. Just speed, power, flow, combination of major maneuvers. He may not be credited with the completed ride, but the damage was done. The crowd go wild. Adriano De Souza, he's going to extend his lead.
Look at him yelling at the crowd, bringing it up, pump it up. And you hear him.
Oh, I love it.
Talk about passion.
Oh, yeah.
Passion illustrated right here at the final of the Oi Rio Pro, brought to you by Corona.
Oh, I love this sport.
Right?
This is the best show on earth right now. Surf-stoked fans, two gladiators going at it. And have a look at the score from Adriano De Souza. Are you kidding me?
9.8. Biggest score of the final, and the answer back to even make the Ace answered back. Now it's back in De Souza's court. He answered back. Now it's back in Ace's court. Ace now needs an excellent score of an 8.44. Here we go with Buchan. Off the bottom. Carves off the top. All the way back around. Another carving maneuver. Steepens up on the inside, winds up, snaps, backwash timed, and goes complete. 884 is the number, Potts.
Wow, 8.4, 8.44 is the number. I don't think he's going to get it. I think that's just not enough vertical stuff. I don't think. I think those first couple of turns were nice, but he just needed a bit more of that vertical stuff that De Souza was showing on that 9.8. Let's have a look at the first turn. Very important to start off well. First turn, sort of nice jam in the pocket, real quick transition. Comes around the section. That's a nice little speed check right there. And then off the bottom and bang with that backwash. A little bit of drama to finish off that wave. I think it's going to better his 5.83, but I'm not seeing an 8.44 on that occasion.
See it on your screen, the need for Ace Buchan. Still waiting on scores. Judges probably taking another couple looks at it. It's going to be an important wave. De Souza now, we're in the 5 minute on the countdown, and De Souza with priority and control of the lineup, which is going to be important in these final 5 minutes.
Yeah, well now De Souza's job is, he's done all the hard work. Okay, so now what he wants to do is, he doesn't need another wave. Unless, of course, Ace gets that 8.44 on that last roll of the dice. He is still yet to drop that score, so we're still waiting for the judges, probably having a good look at it. 4.5 minutes remaining, but De Souza now just needs to control the lineup. As soon as Ace gets back out in the lineup, De Souza's got to go and drop the anchor right next to him, pretend he's a piece of Velcro and stick to him, and make sure that he just eliminates any kind of opportunity that may come Ace's way. Now, Ace's job is to try and create a little bit of distance between the two, try and find something special, maybe encourage Adriano De Souza to utilize his priority. Scores coming through, and an 8.44 required from Ace Buchan.
Early indication is it's going to be close. We still got a couple more judges to check in with us. The score drops an 8.03, not enough. Ace Buchan in the blue jersey still needs that 8.44,
yep.
And it's down to 3 minutes, 45 seconds.
Yep, time ticking away now. And you can see De Souza starting to make his move, starting to move up towards where Adrian Buchan is sitting. Now Ace has got to try and find some distance, try and create a little bit of distance between the two. Maybe catch a wave and try and reposition himself. De Souza caught that 9.8 on the way back out. He wasn't all the way out the back, so you don't need to be sitting all the way out there. Move in a bit, move down a bit.
Those 10,000 people are going to go wild in about 3 minutes if Adriano De Souza is able to bring this win to his country. Things are looking good, and you talked about controlling the heat and a little bit of defense. Look how close De Souza is to Ace Buchan.
I've watched him play this game day in and day out for the last 9-10 years of his career. I know exactly how this kid operates. He's super smart, and you can guarantee, a lot of the time he finds a way to get himself in front. He finds a way to get priority with 3 or 4 minutes to go, and he finds a way to shut things down. So this is just classic Adriano De Souza.
He's definitely sliding the door closed right now on Ace Buchan. Clock continues to tick away, and De Souza's staring out to see. What he doesn't want to see is like a 4-wave set to give multiple chances, for Ace Buchan, right?
Oh, I've got to stand up. I'm sitting on the edge of my seat. This is crazy. This is what we come here to see.
How many heats have we called, though, that we've been on the edge of our seat at this year's competition?
Well, that's because we love the sport. That's because we're passionate about the game of surfing. We're passionate about the guys playing the game. They make it exciting for us every single place we go to, and this is no exception. Sakurama came to play. The waves have been pumping this entire waiting period, and the surfing has just not let us down. I mean, it's great stuff, and the final has been no different. Look at the scoreline. Adriano De Souza with a 9.8 and a 7.83. Ace Buchan with a 9.2 and an 8.03. We knew there was going to be excellent waves in this final.
And the drama continues because clock's ticking down. We got some opportunity perhaps outside. Ace Buchan's going to try to get away from the magnet known as Adriano De Souza. I'm calling him the magnet right now because he wants to stick to Ace Buchan. Decision time for De Souza.
Here we go.
Is he gonna go? Is he gonna let Ace go? Nobody goes on that wave. Big closeout.
Just a little bit too wide. Yeah, I suppose thinking, Ace needed to be down a little bit. Get away from him. Start running for the hills. Don't just sit there. Look at that. Look at the crowd.
And that's not even the whole beach. That's
from the
one half of the beach.
That's from the Conner site down.
We have just as many people the other way.
Yeah, exactly.
It's absolutely incredible.
Incredible stuff.
I can hear the beach right now starting to get worked up. Down to 30 seconds.
25 seconds remaining. Adriana de Souza, the people's champion here in Brazil. Down in towards the 15-second mark. It is looking like more and more like the fact that Adriana de Souza is going to win this with 10 seconds to go.
Well,
as you can hear, listen to the crowd. Copo, let's just give it a minute.
it's going to be a party in the streets of Saquarema tonight. Your 2017 Oi Rio Pro champion in Adriano de Souza. Incredible. Did not lose a heat in this entire competition. Ran straight through everyone. And he's going to be our Oi Rio Pro presented by Corona champ.
Did not lose one heat this entire event. Round one, the three-man heat won it. Round four, the three-man heat won that as well. Dropping bombs through this entire event. Looked like the man to beat. Came out in the final just flying. 7.5, 7.83. And then dropped that 9.80, which was the difference.
I don't know if we caught that moment right there with Adriano hitting his arm. He has a tattoo there with Ricardo dos Santos written on his arm, a very, very good friend of his that we've lost. And he's looking to heaven and saying, this one's for you, buddy.
What a moment for Adriano de Souza, the 2017 Oi Rio Pro champion. And he has just got himself well and truly in another world title race.
Wow.
Now, this kid's confident enough, but you add a win to him, and that confidence goes through the roof, and he's going to be hard to beat, let me tell you. He's going to be a tough one to beat.
Well, good showing by Owen Wright here as well, and Matt Wilkinson, so that Jeep leaderboard. Good showing also by Jordy Smith.
Quarterfinal for Jordy.
Quarterfinal, so it's going to really tighten up on that Jeep leaderboard, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's going to be a crazy world title race. Owen Wright won the competition and at Snapper Rocks, the Quicksilver Pro. John took out Margaret River. Jordy Smith took out the Bells Beach, Rip Curl Pro Bells Beach. And now Adriano de Souza, the Oi Rio Pro. 4 different winners in 4 different events. Wow, no one's dominating this year so far.
On the men's, or when we look at the ladies, on the women's side is the same story as well. 2017 is set up to be such a great year here at the World Surf League, and we're only at stop number 4.
Yep. Tell you what, this year is flying by though. Event number 4 already. Fiji around the corner. It's going to be a great year, and I think it's going to come down to the absolute wire.
He's having a good time. He won in 2011 here, came back and won again in 2017.
Yeah, credit to Ace Buchan. I mean, he didn't go down without a fight, that's for sure. He needed an excellent score. He got an excellent score. He got a 9.20. He backed it up with an 8.03. Just not enough. But yeah, de Souza had to dig deep though, didn't he? And he did exactly that. A 9.8 on the way back out. Where did he find that wave? That thing just kept offering maneuver after maneuver after maneuver. And he ended up dropping the best score of the final, which you got to do to win.
Passion, drive. The crowd is starting to just creep to the water's edge. Some fans even jumping in the water right now. Look at this scene from high up above here at the Oi Rio Pro, presented by Corona.
I love this. He's doing a little lap of honor up and down the beach. I say thank you to the fans for getting him across the line. He tapped into that energy on the beach. He used it. He used it as that confidence builder. You know, we're talking before the final started. You know, you said, is that pressure going to weigh down on him? It actually worked for him, and we always knew that was going to happen.
De Souza won his first round heat. He skipped round number 2. Round number 3, defeated another Brazilian in Ian Gouveia. Won his round 4 heat, skipped straight to the quarterfinals. Disposed of Joel Parkinson from competition. Met up with a young on fire, Iago Dora, in the semifinals. Took the momentum off of Dora, who was looking unbeatable so far, and winning over Ace Bucket.
Yeah, amazing stuff from Adriano de Souza.
Well, we're going to talk more about this. Stick around, because we're going to be going into the post-show next here at the Oi Rio Pro, presented by Corona. Adriano de Souza is the 2017 champion.
Wow.
Everybody are invited for the award ceremony. Let's clap the hands for the big champion, second place, third place. Todo mundo obter por Henrique Dedai Vietnam. É isso aí, Henrique. Valeu, Jacaré. Obrigado, Saquarema. Até a próxima. Valeu, Ana Fernando Surf. Valeu, Felipe. Valeu, Ronaldo Monteiro. Até a próxima. Obrigado aí pela receptividade. Saquarema no coração.
Vamos chegar aqui na festa, a entrega da premiação, todo mundo apoiando aqui o nosso campeão, Adriano de Souza. Vamos lá, vamos aproveitar esse momento único, galera. Vamos, todo mundo chega mais perto. Vamos mostrar a emoção que a gente tem no coração, Brasil! Mineiro.
Hey, Scuba, hello. Shooting. Scuba. Yeah, clear. Obrigado.
Presented by Corona, and we have just seen Adriano de Souza take out the win. He's getting cheered up the beach. This is the post-show.
Yeah, well, what a feeling, especially here in front of his home crowd. And, geez, I think the crowd got him over the line. He dug deep and produced some great surfing. Pete, that 9.8 was just next-level stuff. I mean, he saved his best for last, which you got to do.
I was up in the office upstairs. I got to watch this final with Mano Zul, who is the pioneer of computer scoring, and a Brazilian who has been fighting some medical issues. It was a really nice moment, just being him up there watching this thing and watching it unfold. And Adriano de Souza, in my eyes, even with that 9.2 that came from Ace Buchan, you knew he was going to answer. And to see what he did and how he did it, he paddles back out and he found one, you know, and I think he acknowledged the fact that Ace had picked up that 9.2 and it wasn't a major set wave, but it had that line. Sure enough, Adriano, and then once you saw that wave get finished, it was like slam dunk. It was a 9 that was going to extend that lead, and it was destined for Adriano de Souza and Brazil. You know, Ace gave it a good fight, though, I must say. It was awesome to see from him to be able to fight in there, and it was the full silent treatment. When you saw him go by, it was just a full silent treatment. It was like they weren't going to give him the love that they were giving Adriano.
No.
Potts, your thoughts on the final? It was a pleasure to call it with you, but give us a recap and your thoughts on the final.
I think, you know, obviously we knew, I deep down thought, of course, Adriano de Souza was going to win. It was his to lose. But, you know, I'm super proud of the fact that Ace dug deep and he didn't give up. You know, he's surfing against more than just one guy out there. He was surfing against 10,000 people, 20,000 people on the beach as well. But Ace is back on track. He's surfing incredibly well. He's got to be proud of his performance here, and he's going to take a lot of good stuff away, but I think Adriano de Souza was just too good on the day. I think that 9.8, as you said, Pete, just the insight or the foresight to paddle back out instead of getting the jet ski, put him in that position to get that wave. And sometimes you don't know why you're making those decisions. You just go with the flow.
Ricardo Santos.
You just go with the flow, and that's exactly what happened. It turned out to be the right move, and de Souza walked away with the win. So amazing day. I mean, it was a Cinderella story for the Brazilian fans. I kind of liked the way it turned out.
And it was a slam dunk. There was no question. It was very clear today. No real questions in my eyes. The scoring was spot on.
Yep.
Nothing that had my eye kind of tripping at all. It was solid all the way across, and some great surfing done by everyone. You know, and looking at the fact that you have guys like Iago Dora taking some points away. You got Ace Buchan taking some points away. As far as that world title talk now, it's going to be that much more exciting going forward. No one's running away with it.
Let's take a look at the recap of this final.
Yeah, it was what a day it was. I mean, the crowd has just been amazing, hasn't it? The crowd have been here every day the events run, even the lay days. They come down and they pack the beaches to watch the guys just warming up. And today was no exception. I mean, you know, you talk about that. There's those places around the world where people don't work, do they? When these events are on, everyone just checks out. And because they want to come and see the greatest show on earth, I mean, which is professional surfing.
And you're able to get close. I mean, it's not like anyone's protected here. You're out surfing, you're out practicing, you're out in the open.
Yeah.
You know, people come here, they come right up to you, they're going to introduce themselves, they're going to take a photo with you. I mean, everywhere you go, that's the scenario. And so, you know, the surfers that can handle that too, because it's not like any other place in the world. Here, you're going to see it, and it's going to happen pretty much every time you step out.
A lot of focus on you, right? A lot of focus. And